we have. So it's been difficult to teach people in Puerto Rico that we can do it, and then it just start to flow because bodyboarding unites people, and the sport is also it's always a tool that brings happiness, peaceful, adrenaline in this case, and like health. And like these guys that are having great health in that heat.
Yeah, here you can see Dave Winchester taking off to start things off here in
Wow.
this heat. Big roll from Dave Winchester, comes out through the white water. Right now out in the water, we have Dave Winchester, Damian King, and Mitch Rawlins from Australia, and up and riding in black, one of your fellow Puerto Ricans, Noel DeArce, who came through the trials.
Noel DeArce is such a great competitor. He comes from the north side of the island, Arecibo. He's been in the in the scene for many years. So for each one of these competitors, it's just a great opportunity to be competed with the best. As of course Winnie, who we can see right now that his surfing is so complete. Winnie can surf in any conditions, very competitive, and I know this kind of wave is a really good one for him.
And Dave Winchester is going to score a 7.75 for his first wave, so he's going to get a solid score to start things off and really set the bar for this heat. Dave jumping out to the early lead in this heat with that 7.75 again. Meanwhile, up and riding, Damian King, fellow Australian, the two-time world champ. Nice spin off the top, coming down.
Yes, it's amazing. Damian King has, of course, another invert, and back we have Mitch Rawlins with a nice spins on the top. Mitch has been surfing amazing. He was with us the first days of the media tour, so he's been in Puerto Rico for a while.
So there we have a quick wave exchange. Damian King and then Mitch Rawlins. We'll wait for scores to drop from them. Noel DeArce getting a 1.0, basically an up and down. Here we have a replay of Damian King. Throws a nice forward spin off the top, comes back down, resets his line, looking down towards the end section, driving for speed, kind of just ahead of the white water, and he's eyeing up this oncoming section, and he hits the nice little invert off that end section. Damian King, a 3.65 on his first wave. Mitch Rawlins, meanwhile, a 2.75. He went for the spin, kind of came down under the lip, was still able to complete the maneuver, but not very clean. So, again, a 2.75 for Mitch. So, real quick rundown out in the water right now. Early going this heat, we have Dave Winchester in first with a 7.75. Damian King with a 3.65 sits in second. Mitch Rawlins with a 2.75. And Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico with a 1.0. Everybody with one wave under their belt. They'll look for secondary scores from here.
So, Steve, tell me, what do you think about being in Puerto Rico? You've been here before, so...
Yes, I was here in Puerto Rico 14 years ago, flew into Aguadilla and cruised Rincon, but this is my first time in Isabela. I've been super stoked. The people have been amazing. The food, the scenery, the waves, the weather, everything has been incredible. Isabela is a beautiful place, and the waves here at Middles have not let anybody down. Here you can see our highlights package, the beautiful scenery like I'm talking about. There's a reason why Isabela is known as Jardin de Noreste, the Garden of the Northwest. Absolutely gorgeous here, never a shortage of things to see. These horses are actually right out inside of our hotel room. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, our hotel is Villas del Marjao. They've been amazing. They have a special and beautiful place where all the competitors are staying. As you said, Isabela has everything, and that's why we are, here. Puerto Rico has so many things, like natural resources. It's just amazing. One of the things I think is amazing is El Yunque. Have you been there?
I have never been to El Yunque rainforest before, but Puerto Rico's El Yunque rainforest is being voted on to be one of the new 7 wonders of nature. If you would like, please go vote for Puerto Rico's El Yunque rainforest, new7wonders.com/Yunque. It's just one of the amazing things here in the island I absolutely love. I mean, besides the waves and the food and, the tropical locale, the people, the warm water, the warm weather, you've also got the rainforest, you've got the Arecibo Observatory. There's no shortage of things here in Isabela specifically and Puerto Rico in general.
Yes.
And here you can see rolling in one of the main things that's brought us here. and up and riding in. Oh, that was Winchester
Almost.
taking a look. He backs off of that one.
Almost. The swell is pretty big. The direction is getting every day better and better. But it's just amazing. We are so happy that the waves arrive, and it's delivering. The nature is with us, and everything is running amazing. So I really want to thank to all the sponsors that make this possible. It's been a full year and a half of working, and all those people that they say we want to do it.
All right, and I believe Shaggy has Amory Laverne from that last heat on the beach. Shaggy, what you got going on down there, brother?
I'm down here with Amori from Reunion. Congratulations, Amori, on winning your last heat. How was it out there?
Oh yeah, it was pretty tough. I had a pretty hard hit. Jorge's been surfing pretty good before this heat, and Dave Abal was looking for the left, like more on the right side of the spot. I was thinking, okay, I have to get some score pretty fast, so I tried at the beginning, but I didn't land my big roll, and then I lose priority. But the score been pretty slow in my hit, so I was like, okay, I've got time to getting back to it. So after that, I'll get like a 6-point roll on the right. And then at the end, I was a bit in trouble. I get third, and I finally get this left. I try like a big roll and handle my board pretty strong to land it. And I think I get like a 7-point something. Put me back in the lead, and then I get back to second place. And then 10 seconds before the end, I got the IRS on the left and get back on the first place. Pretty tough, but I'm stuck.
Little cha-ching, hey, back into the third round. Now, tell me, how hard is it to land those heavy rolls out there? Do you do a really rigid core exercise to make your body nice and stiff like a plank?
Yeah, exactly. You have to be like really stiff and handle your ball really strong, so you have to have like a grab, like really stiff grab. My first roll, I just miss it because my board just leave from my body, and then the form is so powerful, so it just pushed me away. So when I hit this big roll, I was like, okay, handle your ball as strong as you can, and be like really on the nose of your board to not like lose speed with your legs in the water, and it works.
Well, congratulations. It looked like it was a really hard move to land. So, yeah, congratulations once again, Amori. Would you like to say hello to Reunion?
Yeah, les gars, ni représenté à la, mais il s'est fait péter, you!
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Shaggy, for bringing us that interview down on the beach. Shaggy holding it down with all the on-beach interviews during the Encanto Pro. Now, something not a lot of people know, Natasha here is a political science major, and Puerto Rico is a U.S. Commonwealth. It's one of the only territories remaining in the world without actually having statehood or being declared its own country. Up and riding, that's yellow Mitch Rawlins driving down the line, catching a little air on the chop on the face.
Bam.
Nice big invert.
Bam,
Wow.
bam, bam.
Mitch boosting on that one. And
Wow.
then he gets caught up in the whitewater, but a solid, big technical maneuver, and followed up immediately by Damian King, who's going to bail on this one. So a quick wave exchange out there.
These guys, they just want to say, I'm here and I'm going to do it better and better and better. That's what the competition is all about, one wave and another wave and another wave. And I think this whole competition, we have seen so many waves, a lot of bodyboarding, like powerful bodyboarding, lots of maneuvers, good barrels. It's been amazing. It's been
Here you
completely
can see
amazing.
a replay of Mitch Rawlins getting full extension on that invert, landing out in front of the whitewater. Nice clean landing. Solid wave there for Mitch Rawlins. We'll see how the judges score that.
Yeah, Mitch Rawlins, it's such an aggressive competitor, and also his skills are amazing. He's just 28 years old, and we have heard this name for so many years that we think it's one of the oldest, and it's not,
Mitch has really matured as a competitor. He's in the hunt with the World Qualifier Series to become one of the 8 riders to step up to the Grand Slam Series in 2012. And he's showing a level of riding that he hasn't shown in his younger days. He's really progressed and matured quite a bit with his riding, and it's been showing this year on not only the qualifier series, but making main events for the World Tour. So, now back to what I was saying.
Well,
Miss Sagadia over here is a political science major, and there's a lot of debate about Puerto Rico and whether or not it should be made the 51st state of the United States. I was curious to get your opinion on the where Puerto Rico is at and what your personal opinions are. if you don't mind me putting you on the spot.
It's yeah, you're putting me on the spot. Well, what I can tell you is Puerto Rico is one of those territories that it's one of the of these places that are full of magic, right? And as the magic it has, it's a place full of history. Like we start being, of course, the land of the Taínos, as I heard you before saying. The Taínos and the Caribbean, two different groups of Indians. And then the Spaniards came, and that's why we see, this contrast and in the history, and of course in the building and architecture, and of course in the language. And then we have the Hispano-American War in 1988, where United States conquered Puerto Rico. So Puerto Ricans have been dealing with these changes, of course, through the whole history, and it's a very sensitive topic because we are divided in three political parties, very hard parties. One believes in the independency of Puerto Rico, and it's of course the independent party. The Green Party is known as the Green Party, and then we have the Red Party, that is the one that believes in the Commonwealth state, and the Blue Party that believes in Puerto Rico being the 51 state. Each of these parties is very hard in Puerto Rico history, and it's been settled in different activities and different political and historic moments that defines the personality of the people and the followers of that parties.
Well, something I have noticed not only with the Puerto Rican competitors I've seen on tour, on the World Tour and the U.S. National Tour, but something I've also seen in my time in Puerto Rico is the people of Puerto Rico are very proud and very passionate about pretty much everything in life. So I mean, it's no surprise that there's a passionate debate ongoing about
For sure.
What's going to happen with Puerto Rico's future?
Yeah, Puerto Ricans love Puerto Rico, and that's, I think, the main reason that, and the most important thing that Puerto Ricans have. They love their country, they respect their country. You can see how they live when, like, the national team is going to compete outside, like boxing, baseball, bodyboarding, of course, and all these sports. Like, just join everybody together, and the pride of being Puerto Rican is huge. I think it's like during the whole history of Puerto Rico, Puerto Ricans fight for that proud, and they keep fighting for that proud, even if it's in one political party or the other one. I think the key for the success of the nation will be just focus ourselves on what is best for Puerto Rico, not just in the colors of the political parties. That's my critique for all the situation. But yes, I think it's you put me on the spot, really.
I know it's a touchy subject, but I couldn't resist. Like I said, Natasha here, a political science major, and I could not resist the opportunity to pick your brain a little bit. So I appreciate your patience and understanding in answering the question.
No, for me it's a pleasure.
There you can see coming up in the next heat, Mark McCarthy getting ready. He will be joined out in the water by Michael Novi. There, Luciano and Bobby Quinones, another local Puerto Rican.
Bobby Quinones has been surfing for many years. He's been on 2 finals in Pipeline. This is one of the prize of Puerto Rico. We love Bobby. Bobby is a character, and it's been representing the island for many, many years, Bobby's one of those guys that they love what they do. And you can see Bobby in a surfboard, you can see Bobby in a paddleboard, you can see Bobby every day in the water. Bodyboarding is his life. It comes in his veins, and we are proud to have him as one of the the wild card, the international wild card.
Yes, Bobby Quinones is one of the Puerto Rican wild cards, one of the true characters of bodyboarding, one of the great ambassadors for not only bodyboarding but for Puerto Rico. Everybody who's here enjoys spending time cruising around with Bobby because he's always a live wire. You never know what to expect from him.
We call him payaso, like a clown. He's always making fun and having fun and doing amazing things. So Bobby, congratulations for being here, and it's a great honor to have you in this competition. It's I start bodyboarding looking looking at him, like I want to serve like him. I want to go to compete with him. So they are my local heroes, and now we are, friends, and it's amazing how life goes.
And they could see, I believe that was Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico paddling for that one, turns around. Not really to his liking, so he'll let it roll by. Quick update out in the water. We have just under 19 minutes remaining, and currently Mitch Rawlins in the lead. Mitch scoring an 8.5 on his last wave, that big invert. He sits in first place. He is followed by Dave Winchester, who had a 7.75 on his first wave, still looking for a secondary score. Meanwhile, Damian King currently sitting in the third spot with a 3.65 and a 1.25. And Noel DeArce looking for a secondary score, a 1.0 on his first one. We've noticed in these last couple of heats a little bit of difficulty for riders falling into a rhythm. Conditions a little challenging. A lot of the set waves coming through, pretty good size, but some closeouts, some sectiony waves. So wave selection has become even more critical as we've gotten further into competition today.
Exactly. I think, the guys, all these guys know how to surf these conditions, and, they have to wait and be patient. And when we, a competitor has always have to slow down and think and choose and everything it's involved. Also, the foreman priority helps a lot, the selection of the waves, and it makes a little, at the same time it's harder because the wave you choose, you have to do it, perfectly. So it's always a decision. But going back to the subject you were talking, I want to say that Puerto Rico, it's a rich country. It's word. It's like a Puerto Rico. It's a rich port, but not in in natural resources. It's just in quality of people and in quality of history. I think sometimes people forget, but the reason that Puerto Rico is not an independent nation, it doesn't mean we don't have history. We have history, and we have a lot of local heroes, and we have a lot of big personalities, and it's been amazing, looking through the history and see all this mix of African that is very representative in all the Puerto Rican, especially in Loíza Aldea. You can go there and have an experience of what African culture is all about: music, food, aesthetics, everything. Then you go to the south and you can see that Caribbean part, like where the pirates were, like Taínos still more alive.
Yes, it's one of the more lively cultures and one of the richer heritages in the Caribbean. There's a lot of history, a lot of heritage, like you were saying. It's something that I believe anyone who comes to visit Puerto Rico should really look into. While we have this opportunity, one of the sponsors for the event, cpuertorico.com, if you want information on, Puerto Rico history, things to do, I mean, all the information is right there, including like tourism trips. I mean, there's so many things to do, including. We took a little trip up.
Including battling, huh? Including battling
Damian
with Damian
King with
King.
a nice barrel ride. And this is followed up by Dave Winchester in the red jersey. Cuts back off the top, setting up his line. And here you can see, nice speed line.
Bang.
Gets the roll. Lands mid-face, resets. Throws it to a forward pocket spin. Driving down the line, hits off the end. And right behind him, Mitch Rawlins. Wow, Mitch, a nice barrel ride. Comes out. Wow, the barrel even spit. Hits the roll. Nice solid wave exchange there.
Yeah, it's amazing. These guys are just back to back. Mitch Rawlins was in the first position, and I think he's going to keep being in this first position after that barrel. He just had 2.75 and an 8.5, so now we are waiting for that last score. Dave Winchester need a second wave, and it was a really good one, so we are waiting for that second score too of that huge roll. Damian King also. He has an average score right now. It's a 4.9, so I think he's going to get maybe a better one. And Noel DeArce is still waiting for that good wave. He haven't been lucky in choosing that wave.
And here we have a replay of Damian King on that wave exchange. Damian, forward spin in the pocket, looking to get the barrel. Perfect positioning and timing. Gets the pocket spin, the barrel comes out, driving down the line, looks at the section, and boom, punches the roll through the lip. Comes down, a nice combination ride there from Damian King, the two-time world champ from Port Macquarie, Australia.
and his score was a 6.75 for that wave. So for sure he replaced the last one.
And here is the replay of Dave Winchester, which was right after Kingy's ride. Nice cutback off the top to set up. Re-engages his rail, sets his line, drops back down, driving for speed, eyeing up that oncoming section, and here it is. Projects nice, clean roll off of that, lands mid-face. This was a solid ride for Dave.
Exactly. Perfect projection. These guys know exactly what he wants to do, and he goes for another one. So, yeah, that wave was a 5.25. So, of course, he's still in the second position, but he got a better score. And here we have Mitch.
Mitch with the nice barrel ride, comes out, drives up the top, and punches through the lip. It wasn't the cleanest of rolls. You kind of forced it, but still a nice barrel ride on that one for Mitch Rawlins.
Yeah, just a competitive, just competitive, completely competitive. He goes for a barrel, and he knows he wants to finish that wave, hitting the lip and assuring that he's going to have better points. Unlucky Noel is a combo situation. He's needing good waves to make it. But still we have almost 13 minutes remaining, so plenty of time.
And here, Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico in the black jersey drops in, drives off the bottom, sets his line, gets a nice little barrel section, and looks like he caught his rail, not quite able to make it out of the barrel on that one. So he'll paddle back out and look for another one.
Yeah, go Boricua, let's paddle.
A little home pride from Natasha here. We have about 12 minutes remaining, and I kind of forewarned you before we came on the air that I was going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot again. You're currently dating Jared Houston from South Africa. You guys have kind of become the high-profile couple on the world tour. What's it like having a high-profile relationship and traveling and dealing with the extra scrutiny of, hey, these two are together?
This guy put me in the spot today in every aspect. But now I'm happy. I'm completely happy on this. Jared is one of the most special person I ever met. It's one of the most supportive person I ever met too. He's just there for me with any plan, any dream. And, this whole year it's been really hard because trying to have this event and putting everything together, I sacrifice a lot. My own career, athletic career, and sometimes, of course, the relation, it's involved with all the time. So he's been helping me a lot. And when I'm down, he's like, Mama, let's go. Let's keep going, let's keep going. And I've been in the tour since I'm 14 years old. So I'm almost 14 years just in the tour, 12 years on the tour my whole life. So I know what it's about traveling all the time. That's why I think we get along really well, because we all understand, we have the same dream, we love the same things, and we are very generous with each other's dreams. And that's the key that makes the relationship very healthy. And we share everything,
Now, Jared has spent a lot of time here in Puerto Rico with you, training for this event. What does your family think of Jared spending so much time here and, the two of you as a couple?
Yeah, well, my whole family lives in Argentina. I live by myself here since I'm 15 years old. My family loves Jared. He went to Argentina to meet my parents. Yeah, like the movie, Meet the parents, exactly. It was kind of like that. No, my family is not too crazy, but it was amazing. I think it's part of the exchange of cultures, and it's fun to see my grandma, 86 years old, trying to speak English with Jared. But I'm very happy, and they love Jared. They love that I'm happy, so they really respect my decisions, and I love when Jared is around. It's like we share my culture, my life, and I'm really keen to go to South Africa in January to meet his family and his friends. I know some of his friends, but from the tour. But
speaking of South Africa, there you can see in the red jersey Mark McCarthy from South Africa paddling out in this next heat side by side with your fellow countryman Bobby Quinones from Puerto Rico in the black jersey. They will be joined out there by Michael Novi in the white jersey. and the Brazilian, Ider Luciano, in yellow. That's coming up in about 9 minutes. Meanwhile, out in the water, Mitch Rawlins still holding on to, and he's out in the water with Dave Winchester, who currently sits in second. Damian King in the white jersey sits third, and Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico currently sitting in combination land. Here, Noel up and riding in the black jersey, skipping down the face, and not really shaping up the way he would like. Some of these waves are getting kind of bouncy and really giving the riders a hard time.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to be patient and positive. That's the key. Noel is just one of those guys that believe in bodyboarding too, and they've been dedicating his whole life to this sport. So I really think it's a big opportunity to him to be in here. It's just a dream to make it to the leader sport,
And there you can see the stats for Noel, the 36 local from Margara. You said he's been a part of the bodyboarding community here for quite a long time. He made it through the trials. He's here in the leaderboard rounds. So this is, this round 2. Where he still has another round to go. So, still anything can happen. It could be interesting to see how, he handles, the result from this heat going into the third round.
Yeah, of course. He has another opportunity. But as I was saying before, like all Puerto Ricans are more than happy of being here already. We all know that Puerto Rico is a great place and it's full of waves and everything, but until this point that we have everybody in the competition, now they are facing, the possibilities that Puerto Rico really have with the sport. We have great athletes, we have great waves, but it's the first time we have all of you here. So
yes,
it's amazing,
I have to agree with you. I've seen a lot of competitors from Puerto Rico turning out for U.S. National Tour events, which I work very closely with. Also, on the tour, I know the Puerto Rican contingent came out in force for the Zicatela event, and really making a name for itself, really making some statements on the global stage. It's really interesting to see because the level of talent coming from this island is something to keep an eye on.
Of course. I think, Puerto Rico have to be one of the, it's going to be one of the stops of the tour for many years. And, the government is involved, the tourism agency is involved, Kursla, Gasolina, all these brands, Claro, of course, DeArce, the newspaper, El Nuevo Dia, and all these, La X, of course, La X, one of our main sponsors also. They are all involved because they believe that Puerto Rico have the resources, have the structure, have the professionalism and the athletes, and of course the waves, to achieve all we are achieving these days. So, these guys being with the best of the world, and in this heat you can see, one of the world champions of the world, Damian King, Dave Winchester, one of the best riders in the world and in the history, and of course Mitch Rawlins, that we all know who he is and what he have done. And then we have Noel DeArce, one of the best riders in Puerto Rico that have competed in different international events, but now he's competing with the best in his homeland. So it's just, it's amazing, and it makes me feel really proud and really happy of all the effort we have gone through with Bianca this year, and all the doors we have knocked, and all the ones that have opened.
And you know what? I have to say, your efforts and Bianca's efforts to make this event a reality, to have this event as a part of the World Tour. I know going consensus on the beach from all of the competitors is you girls have done an amazing job to set this up and make this a global spectacle for everybody at home to be watching. So this is one of the girls who made it happen. So, I mean, my hat's off to you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm happy. I just can say that I'm happy, and I'm happy for all that people that also support me and says, don't give up. Let's go. We can do it. And all those companies and every friend that is here working, giving us a hand. God, of course, that make it possible, and nature, Mother Nature, that is delivering. So, thank you to everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying.
All right, well, Natasha, thank you very much for all of your efforts. Thank you for joining me here in the webcast booth. I appreciate you answering all my questions and dealing with me putting you on the spot. We're going to bring back Manny Vargas.
It's been a pleasure. So thank you for everything. And I think I've been saying thank you like a million times.
Give a wave to everybody. Meanwhile, up and riding out in the water, we have Dave Winchester on that wave. Dave Winchester currently sitting in the second position with a nice roll. And there you can see him turn around and paddle back out. We have about 3.5 minutes remaining in this heat. Again, I'd like to thank Natasha Sagadilla from Puerto Rico, not only one of the competitors on the Women's World Tour, still, to come up in the women's semifinal later in competition, but also one of the event organizers. And it's a lot of work. Manny joining me back here in the booth. I don't know how she does it.
I know for sure one thing is that she put in a ton of time to make this happen today. And, she actually didn't go to a couple of events because of it. So, and you know what? She just had to press the button, go, and everything's been falling into place. And I don't know if you guys touched on this, but I don't know how she controlled the waves, but the waves came. That was key component on making this insane. So, Natasha, please bring your good luck charm to all the events, and we'll be happy.
Yes, I work and compete on the U.S. National Tour, but nothing on this scale. What she's managed to pull off here, kudos to Natasha and Bianca.
Yes, big shout-outs to them. Now, currently in the water, heat number 7, round number 2, Mitch Rawlins, Dave Winchester, Damian King, Noel DeArce. That is the situation right now, and Winchester needing an 8.5. Here he is. Oh, no. That is Black up and riding. Noel, what can he do?
Noel DeArce bouncing down the face of the wave. Looks like he slid out a little bit. Tries to restabilize and digs his rail. That will be it for Noel on that wave. Noel currently in combination land.
All right, we are going to run rounds 2 and 3 of the 3-round leaderboard system today. We are winding down round number 2 out in the water with heat number 7. One more heat in this second round. And you're going to see, who are we going to see, Jackson?
In the red jersey from South Africa, we're going to see Mark McCarthy. He will be joined by Michael Novi from Australia in the white jersey. Also out in the water, we will see Ider Luciano from Brazil in the yellow jersey, and they will be joined by the Puerto Rican Bobby Quinones in the black jersey.
Okay, Jackson, intense action. We got waves, we got swell, and we got guys who want to advance out on the top 16. Here we go. Mitch Rawlins dropping in. Keep your eyes on the screen. Jackson.
Mitch Rawlins driving down the line. Stalls trying to set up for the barrel section. Gets a section to flip off of and gets it around. Comes out through the white water. Still going, looking for another section on the inside to finish with. Hits the roll. Comes out through the white water. And that should be a nice wave for Mitch. I don't know if it'll top his 8.5 or 7.75, but still a solid effort there from Mitch. Here's the replay.
Mitch driving off the bottom. As you can see, his perfect bottom turns. That is the fundamental move when it comes to bodyboarding at this level, the bottom turn. Mitch Rawlins does it perfectly. Here he is hitting the brakes, stalling his board, using his fins to hit the brake and slow down for getting in position for this move right here. And it's just a nice, perfect backflip, landing on the whitewash. And there you go. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do a backflip. Mitch Rawlins, Clinic 101 backflip.
And it looks like that's how we're going to go out in this heat. Mitch Rawlins drawing last blood.
We got one more heat to go in round number 2, but it's not over yet. Dave Winchester looking for that 8.51. Oh, no, that's not Dave Winchester. That is Noel DeArce in the black jersey. Nice face turn, slides under the pocket. Little cover up right there. Not going to be a high scoring wave. That is the end of the heat, Jackson.
That will probably be the highest scoring wave for Noel DeArce in that heat. A nice little cover up, some maneuvering on that one. But it looks like Mitch Rawlins from Australia in the yellow jersey and Dave Winchester, his fellow countryman, in the red jersey will take the top 2 spots for the maximum 6 points for first and 4 points for second. As we're coming to the end of round 2, this out in the water, we're ready to set things off with the last heat of round 2, and then we will go directly into round 3.
Okay, big shout out to everybody watching live on IBAWorldTour.com and on RedBull.tv. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. If your friends are not watching, call them, tell them that the hot action is going down now in the leaderboard rounds, main event, pro men's division. Big shout out to all my friends, including Huevo and Carla and their new baby boy in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I know they're watching live and direct from their netbook. I actually stayed at Huevo's house, and you can see chickens and horses.